Now, the third situation is that when the object is kept at center of curvature, that is at 2f1. Now, the object is at 2f1. When the object is at 2f1, we can see how the image is formed. Now, the object is at 2f1. Again, we are selecting the two rays, one that is coming parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, passes through the principal focus. It passes through the principal focus. Then another ray that is passing through the principal focus. If a ray that strike through the principal focus, after refraction, it becomes parallel to the principal axis. It becomes parallel to principal axis. Now, we can see where these two rays met each other. Here we can see these two rays meet each other somewhere here. So, an image formed is, we can see these light rays after refracting through this principal focus. After refracting, passes through the principal focus, and this one become parallel. So, this is 2f2. We can see these two rays meet each other exactly here at 2f2. So, when the object is kept at 2f1, the image formed is exactly at 2f2. And the size of the image we can see here, it is similar to that of object. So, when the object is kept at 2f1, the image formed is at 2f2. So, this is the case when the object is kept at 2f1. Now, moving to the next situation, that is, we are bringing the object somewhat more closer to the lens. That is, so here it is the f2 and 2f2, and here it is f1 and 2f1. Now the next situation is that the object is kept between 2f1 and f1. When the object is between f1 and 2f1, how is the image formed? So object is between 2f1 and f1. So, we are keeping the object here between 2f1 and f1 and try to make the image of the object. The ray passing parallel, passes through principal focus. It passes through the principal focus after refraction, and the ray that is striking through principal focus, if a ray is striking through principal focus like this, if a ray that strike through the principal focus, we can see it is passing parallel to the principal axis. And we can see here these two rays, here we can see these two rays meet each other here, and the image is obtained here. So where is the position we have got the image is when the object is between 2f1 and f1, the image formed is beyond 2f2. And the size we can compare the object and the image size is, it is enlarged. Compared to the object, the size of the image is bigger. So we call this image as an enlarged image. So at first we got at infinity, we got the image as point sized image. Then beyond 2f1, when the object approaches near the lens, we got little bigger, that is a diminished. Still it is smaller than the object, so we called it as diminished. And when the object is at 2f1, we got the image as of the same size. And when the object is between 2f1 and f1, now we have got the image as an enlarged image. Now the size of the image is enlarged image. So this is the image formation when the object is between 2f1 and f1. Now moving to the next situation. In the next situation we can see we are keeping the object at principal focus. So the object is now kept at principal focus. Principal focus. F2 and to F2. Here this is F1 and the object is now kept at principal focus. When the object is kept at principal focus, we can see how is the image formed. Now, one ray that is coming parallel to the principal axis passes through principal focus. After refraction, it passes through principal focus. Another ray we are taking here, the one which is passing through the optical center. So we know the ray that is passing through optical center pass through the lens without any deviation. So it move forward without any deviation. And these two rays, the chance is that these two rays can meet at infinity. When they meet at infinity, the image formed is an enlarged image, and since they are there at the infinity, they meet each other actually and forms the image. So the image formed is a real image. And when the object is at F, the image formed is at infinity, an enlarged real and inverted image is formed at infinity. So this is the case when the object that is kept at principal focus. Now moving to the last situation, which is something different from the others. So far we have seen that this convex lens forms in all these situations beyond F, wherever we kept the object. In all these situations, the convex lens formed a real image, where the rays after refraction meet each other and forms the real image. Now, the next situation we are going to see, that is, what happens when the object is kept between F1 and optical center. So, the fifth case it was at F1 and the sixth is between F and O, optical center. So now the object we are going to keep between the principal focus and the optical center. So the object we kept here between optical center and principal focus. Now we can imagine the ray that comes parallel passes through principal focus, and the other ray which we are going to take is the ray that goes through optical center. So from the optical center the ray passes like this without any deviation. Without any deviation this ray passes. These two rays never meet each other since they are moving as diverging. So they never meet each other as go forward, propagate forward, they never meet each other. Then we can see in this case when the object is between optical center and principal focus, we see that the image of this object is not formed on the opposite side, it is formed in the same side itself. That we can understand by extending back these refracted rays. When we extend back these refracted rays, we can see that these rays appear to meet somewhere here in the same side of the lens. They appear to meet and an erect, enlarged image of the object is formed here. So this is a special case for convex lens, that is it always forms a real image but only in this situation. That means when the object is kept between optical center and principal focus, convex lens forms a virtual image, and that too an enlarged virtual image. Since it is virtual, it is an erect image. So erect, virtual, enlarged image is formed when the object is kept between principal focus and optical center. So these are the various situations in which image formation takes place by convex lens. Now moving to concave lens. Concave lens also forms image of the object when kept in front of it. So in case of concave lens we can see if the object is kept at infinity. So here again we can see here F1 and F2. Here it is 2F1 and 2F2. 2 and this is optical center. Now here, if the object is at infinity, as we told earlier again, the parallel beam of light, from the infinity a parallel beam of light enters into this lens, and after passing or after refraction, these rays diverge each other, and they appear to come from, and when we extend it backward, we can see that they appear to come from a common point, that is the principal focus. So, in case of concave lens, this is the ray diagrams by concave. So, when the parallel beam of light passes through a concave lens, its images appear to form on the principal focus, and the difference is here, the image is formed on the same side itself and they do not form by actual meeting, so the image formed is virtual image and erect image, and the size is very small sized or pointer sized image is formed on the same side of the object, where the object is kept on the same side itself. Now, other than this, anywhere is the object kept. Other than this infinity, anywhere the object kept. That means between optical center and infinity, anywhere the object is kept. You can see the rays formed is the rays that are coming from the object. One that is coming parallel to the principal axis. It appear to pass through the principal focus, and the other ray that is entering, that passes through the optical center without any deviation, it passes. If a ray that passes through optical center without any deviation, this ray pass forward. So, you can see the image formed somewhere here the image is formed, and the size of the image compared to the object, it is smaller, not point sized here, diminished image is formed, and erect image is formed here. And since the image formed by not meeting the actual meeting of the rays, this is known as a virtual image. So, in case of concave lens always forms virtual and smaller image. Virtual, smaller and erect image always formed by concave lens. So, this is about the image formation or the ray diagrams for convex lens as well as concave lenses. Now, sign convention. As we told in case of mirror, the image formation or the image formed by these lenses also has to follow that sign conventions. The sign conventions, as we discussed earlier, it is same. That is, always the object is kept on the left side. Object is always kept on the left side of the lens, and all the distances are measured from the origin. The origin here is the optical center. So here the origin is optical center, and all the distances are measured from this origin, that is optical center. And the distances that are measured to the left of this optical center are to be taken negative, whereas the distance measured right side to the optical side are to be taken as positive. At the same time, the distance that are measured perpendicular and above the principal axis, that is taken as positive, and the distance that are measured below the principal axis, that are taken as negative. So, these are the sign conventions. So, one thing we have to remember here, in case of convex lens, we have seen just now, the real images, always the real images are formed on the opposite side. We know object is kept on the left side, so always the real image is formed on the right side. So, whenever real image is formed from a convex lens, if real image is set, that image distance should be taken as positive. The image distance for a convex lens, if it is real image, it should be taken as positive, and the virtual image, if the image formed by the lens, convex lens is virtual, then that should be taken as negative, because we have seen the virtual image is formed on the same side. Now, in the same way, for the lens, concave lens always forms virtual image only. That virtual image is always formed on the left side of the lens. to the same side of the object, so that should be taken always as negative. And the height of the image also. If it is a real image, its sign will be in minus, and if it is a virtual image, its sign convention will be in positive. So this is about the sign conventions of the spherical lenses. Now, as we studied about the mirror formula, here the object distance, image distance and focal length of the lenses are also in a relationship with each other. That is known as the lens formula. So, in lens formula, the image distance u, object distance v and focal length are connected each other. U is the image distance, v is the object, u is the object distance, v is the image distance and f is the focal length. All these distances are to be measured from the optical center. So the connection between these three is known as the lens formula, and the lens formula is 1 upon v minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f. This is known as the lens formula. Here the connection between the image distance, object distance and focal length. So this formula is known as the lens formula. Now about magnification. So magnification is denoted by the letter M, which shows the extent of the image, whether it is an enlarged or diminished compared to the object. So again we can say that it's defined as, the magnification M is defined as the ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object. So when we get the ratio, h dash is the height of the image. So this is the height of image upon the height of object. If we have taken h as the height of the object and h dash is the height of the image, its ratio will give the magnification. And it shows that if magnification value becomes 1, that means h dash and h are of same size. Height of the image and height of the object are same. In that case, the magnification becomes 1. And if magnification M is less than 1, magnification M is less than 1, it shows that the image is a diminished image. And if magnification greater than 1, it shows that the image is an enlarged image. So the magnification shows this. And at the same time, along with the magnification, if a minus sign is there, suppose magnification M is equal to minus 1, here it says that the image formed is of the same size as that of the object, and at the same time this minus value shows it is a real image. Since the height is measured from the principal axis, downward height is always measured as minus, so it shows that a real image. So this is about magnification. It's the ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object. It is based on the height of the object and image. At the same time, it is related to the object distance and image distance also. That is, magnification is equal to image distance upon object distance, that is equal to V by U. So magnification is equal to h dash upon h, can be found by the ratio of the image height to the object height, or it can be found by dividing the image distance by the object distance. So in this way we can get the magnification. Now lens formula is applied to calculate either the object distance U, image distance V, or sometimes when the object distance and image distance are given, in that case we have to use this formula to find out the focal length of the lenses. So such that one problem we are going to solve here. In this question, a 2 cm tall object is placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length 10 cm Distance of the object from the lens is 15 centimeter. Find the nature, position and size of the image and also its magnification. So, the steps to solve a numerical problem is that the first step is that read the question carefully and understand it. So, in the first step we read the question and understand what to find it. Second step is that what are the data given in the question, that we will write by obeying the sign conventions. So, we have to follow the sign conventions here while writing the data which are given in the question. So, in the question height of the object is given. Height of the object we are taking as h, that is given as, always the height of the object is measured above the principal axis. So, it will be always in plus sign, that is height of the object is 2 centimeter. And it is said that placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length 10 centimeter. Convex lens focal length. So, f is given. Since it is a convex lens, its focal length will be in positive. So, convex lens focal length is given as 10 centimeter. So, that is given in the question. The distance of the object from the lens is given as 15 centimeter. That means the object distance u is given as 15 centimeter, and we know that always the object is kept to the left side. So, always the object distance should be taken in negative sign, that is minus 15 centimeter is the object distance, and we have to find out the nature, position and size. So, firstly we are going to find out the position of the object we are obtaining by finding the v. When we find the distance, the image distance, that is the position of the image. So, we have to find out, and at the same time what is the height of the image, h dash, that also. So, first step reading, understanding the question, second step writing all these things, and the third step is that find out the formula. Remember the formula and write down here. So, lens formula, since it is a lens, we have to apply the lens formula, that is 1 upon v minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f. And we have to find out v here. So, we will write 1 upon v is equal to 1 upon f plus 1 upon u. And substituting the values of f and u from this data given above, we are getting 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon u is in minus 15. So, the next, this is 1 upon v. So, it is equal to 1 upon v is equal to 1 upon 10 minus 1 upon 15. So, by finding the LCM, here we are getting as 30 as the LCM, and here it is 3 minus 2. So, here we are getting it as 3 minus 2. So, by solving this question we can get it as 1 upon v we are getting as 1 by 30. This is 1 upon v. So, the reciprocal of v that we have to take, that is equal to 30 centimeter. So, the image distance we are getting as 30 centimeter, and that is 30 centimeter. We are getting as plus 30 here. We have to understand it is plus 30 shows that the convex lens forms the image on the opposite side. The image obtained, that is 30 centimeter away from the optical center. So, this is about the object, the position of the object. Now, we can calculate the height of the image. Height of the image, since the magnification m, that is equal to h dash upon h, that is also equal to v by u. We can find out the h dash by substituting. Now, we have all the other values, so we can substitute that values and find out the height of the image as v by u into height, that is equal to v we have got here 30 and u is given as minus 15 into height of the object is also we have, that is 2. Now in this way the height of the image we can get as 4 centimeter. So that is minus 4 centimeter. Here the height of the image h dash that we have got as minus 4. The minus sign shows that the image is a real or upside down image, real and inverted image. The minus sign shows only it is an inverted image, and the number 4 shows that it is an enlarged. Here the object size is 2 whereas the image size is 4. That means it is double the size of the object, which shows that an enlarged image is formed in this case. So, this is the way in which lens formula is applied to calculate either image distance, object distance, or sometimes if both are given, we can calculate the focal length of the lens also. Now, moving to the last topic, that is power of a lens. So, power means, we know that convex lens converges the light rays and concave lens diverges the light rays. So, ability of a lens to converge or diverge the light rays is measured in terms of its focal length. We know that if a lens who is having a larger focal length will converge the rays at a lower angle, and if a lens is having a shorter focal length, it has to converge the rays to a larger extent to make the image. So, it depends on the focal length. So, the ability of a lens to converge or diverge is measured in terms of its focal length, and the focal length is in terms of its power, and the power is defined. Power, since the power is depend on its focal length, power is defined as the reciprocal of its focal length. That means when the focal length increases, the ability to converge, the degree of convergence will be less, so the power will be less. And if focal length is less, the ability to converge or the degree of convergence will be more and the power will be more. So it is inversely proportional. So power is defined as the reciprocal of focal length, and it is measured in a unit called diopter. And one diopter is defined in such a way that it is the power of such a lens whose focal length is 1 meter. So when a lens focal length is 1 meter, its power will be 1 diopter. So this formula we can utilize to calculate either focal length of a lens or power of the lens. Since F is 1 by P, we can utilize, if power of a lens is given, we can utilize it to calculate the focal length also. And if diameter is given in a plus value, that means if the power of a lens is given as 2 diopter plus 2 diopter, it shows that the lens here we used is a convex lens. And suppose if it is given as minus 2 diopter, which shows that this minus sign shows that the lens is a concave lens. So this is about the power. Sometimes if more than 2 lenses are combined way used, then the total power is calculated by adding the powers of individual lenses. So this is about the power of the lens, and this chapter we studied about reflection, refraction, and about the spherical mirrors and lenses. That's about this chapter. Thank you.